We understand that all lives matter. That one life is no more important or more valuable than another life. But the reason that we are saying that Black Lives Matters is because it is only when you look into the African American community that you see African Americans being murdered on the streets of America. It is only when you look into the African American community where you see that a lot of African Americans are disproportionately represented even in the healthcare industry and in any other system that exists here in the United States. You don't see, at least to my knowledge, you don't see white women or white men being murdered on the streets innocently. You don't see on videos where people are showing them on our iPhones and iPads where white women or white men are being murdered just because they're jogging down the street. You don't see police officers, at least again to my knowledge, you don't see white people being murdered because they got pulled over for running a red light or for not doing anything at all. So when these cases come to the forefront, and then the police officers or whomever the perpetrators are, when they are just let loose to continue on with their lives after they have murdered an African American person innocently, the message that is being sent to the African American community is that our lives don't matter. That's all they're saying. That's all we're saying, is that our lives don't matter, that you can kill us on the street for no reason at all, and everybody can see it, and you still get to go home with your family, with your friends. There's no justice, even though the evidence is stacked against you. That leaves us with no conclusion but to say our lives don't matter. That's where the concept comes from. It's not that we're saying that other lives don't matter. It's just that for the most part, other people groups are not being slain in the streets. Other people groups are not being accused of attacking other people when they're not even doing it at all. It's African Americans. And it's not that we're just trying to make everything about us, but for now it is. Because we are the ones that are being slaughtered. And what I was trying to explain to my cousin as well is that not only are we being slaughtered today, but we have been slaughtered and murdered and massacred for years. If you just walk down history lane. This is why there's so much outrage. It's not just about George Floyd. It's about the many George Floyds that have been murdered and massacred and butchered and shot in the head and taken advantage of and maligned because of the color of their skin. It's not just one case. It's many cases. Many men and women that have been murdered. And I often think about the many that have been murdered that were not recorded. I have thought about the many Africans and African Americans that have been destroyed in a private setting with no iPhone there to record it, and someone killed them and they were innocent. And yet there's no justice. That's why the Black Lives Matter movement started. It's not that we're overlooking the value and the importance of other lives. It's just that in the African American community, there's a tendency for us to be the victims of these crimes more readily and more consistently than other groups of people.